This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Next head coach for the Trojans. Voters in Jackson County, Missouri rejected a sales tax measure that would have helped fund upgrades for the Chiefs' home Arrowhead Stadium.
This is the Miller's Edge with Christian Miller, two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is the Miller's Edge.
Everybody, on a Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. Hope you're doing well here on a wet, wacky Wednesday here in Columbia, South Carolina. And just straight up nasty after a couple of great days, mid-80s, sun out, vitamin D, loving life. And then today, the bottom fell out. It's wacky, wet Wednesday here in Columbia, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We're inside. We're dry. We're ready to rock and roll with you for the next couple of hours here on the Tide. Make sure you get your phones ready. Get that speed dial up, 205-342-9904. That's 205-342-9904. Download that free app, Tide 100.9. You can leave comments, thoughts, questions right there. Voicemail as well. However you want to do it, do what you do. We will appreciate it. My man White will read those things there for you as we get into the program today. We'll get definitely. Yesterday was a lot of football stuff. Again, appreciate Kane Womack joining us, the defense coordinator of Alabama. A lot of good stuff there that he had talked about. We went straight meathead football for you in that interview. I think you will enjoy it. In case you missed it, we'll get some stuff out there for you with that. We can definitely continue to talk more spring practice, some things that we're hearing that maybe we'll kind of get into some of that later on in the program as well. Alabama men's basketball team out on the West Coast again. In Phoenix this time, as they get ready for the Final Four matchup against UConn. Should be a very interesting ball game. Looks like Latrell is going to be back, and Wrightsell should be back playing this time. He was practicing. We had some video of that yesterday. Just didn't have time to get into that. So does that help Alabama, or would you stick with what they've been doing? Because what they've been doing has been working, but now you put Wrightsell back. Maybe that changes some things. I think Christian kind of alluded to that a little bit on yesterday. So we'll look at that as well. What's their chances? Do they have a realistic chance of winning this game against UConn? A team that everybody thinks is going to win the national championship. They're going to repeat. Very good, very balanced, can do it all 3 levels of the game. They're good at it. They can shoot the jumper. They can dribble drive. They can play big boy, bully ball, however you want to do it. They are ready to dance. And so that should be a challenge for Alabama. But Alabama plays fast. They can hit the 3. They can score a lot of points. If they can do that, play a little bit of defense, they may give themselves a chance to pull off the upset. So we'll get into some of that as well. Another thing I want to talk about before I introduce Christian is the Bayou Barbie. She declared today, so she will forego her last year at LSU, and we'll get into the WNBA draft. And but I got some things I want to say. I've been thinking about this a whole lot. There's been a lot of conversation with LSU and women's basketball. Last night, the numbers came out. Look at this, folks. 12.3 million people watched LSU and Iowa. Yep, you're not hearing me wrong. 12.3 million. You talking about women's basketball on the come up? Oh, bro, they coming up. That was huge. Why? Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and LSU, Kim Mulkey. They painted the whole picture of good guy versus bad guy, good versus evil, convicts versus the Catholics. You remember that? Miami versus Notre Dame. And let's just be honest, it was painted black versus white, because that's what all this stuff boils down to. It's sad that we still talk about this nonsense even here in 24, but it's relevant because that's how they painted. The articles came out, the LA Times articles of the dirty debutantes, the cookies and milk girls with UCLA, all this stuff. And then they obviously brought up, here goes the national anthem again. LSU wasn't on the court. Well, they just did something that they always do. But somebody made a big deal about that. And then you got Angel Reese crying. And then Emmanuel Acho, I believe his name is, on a national show, had a breakdown today. I'll play this later in the program, which just the dumbest thing I ever heard. So I want to talk a little bit about that and what his nonsense that he said, in my opinion. I want to talk about what he had to talk about. And we'll get to that. So we got a lot of places we can go, but that being said, I'll kick it down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Guys, what's up?
Nothing much. You said it was raining in Columbia. It's quite the opposite here. It's nice, man. I sat in my hot tub this morning. It was like it's sunny, but it wasn't like too hot to get in there. So it was a nice little start. But going back to the interview, man, we've gotten so much positive feedback from that interview. So we'll definitely have to do that again or get some other guys on there. I think people really appreciate it, kind of breaking things down from more of an X's and O's perspective. And because, look, I mean, everybody always asks us these questions like, our thoughts on defense, but why not hear it from the guy himself who's calling it? And so we can ask those types of questions. And you're exactly right. We are going to re-rack that stuff. I'm working on, uploading the snippets and stuff to our social media page. So if you're not following, go check that out now at the Miller's Edge. Matter of fact, I think the Sidelines Alabama page just gave us a nice shout out. Literally probably 5 minutes ago. So shout out to those guys, Sidelines Alabama. They post a lot of good Alabama content. So got to return the favor there because they uploaded an interview and on their page. And but anyway, so a lot of positive feedback. Plus, we do have KJ on the line. So I will probably kick it off next after this next break with him because I'm sure he kind of wants to respond to some of that stuff from the interview. But, man, I definitely want to talk some more about the Angel Reese stuff just because it's a hot topic. It's definitely a difficult topic, just given, the circumstances and kind of what's been going on. But I've got some thoughts on that as well. So definitely want to dive into that too. But that being said, other thing is Alabama does have another scrimmage upcoming this weekend, I think Saturday. So excited to kind of gear up for that. I was at that first scrimmage and, again, a good scrimmage. You could tell, I think they were kind of settling in, kind of letting guys kind of, feel it out, so to speak. They didn't really do nothing crazy. I think they kind of, simplified it just so guys could get confident within, the new system and things. That way they could just go out there, play fast and kind of start, not I want to say start slow, but kind of just ease them into this new stuff. So I'm excited because I'm probably going to check out the second one and see kind of how it developed from last week to this week and all that good stuff. Plus, I know everybody's been talking about Parker Brailsford, kind of what's going on there. I know a lot of people are saying he got beat out and that without saying too much, that's not the case. If anything, from what I've told, that dude is one of the best offensive linemen that has come here, even though he's only been here a short amount of time. It has nothing to do with talent or losing a job. I think just he's figuring some stuff out, but there's a good chance, we'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, I mean, I would probably urge folks to kind of gear up for somebody else in that spot. That's all I'll say on that. But with that being said, a lot of good stuff to talk about. Excited to be on here today. And, man, looking forward to today's show because I think it's going to be very, very interesting today. We got a lot of stuff we can talk about. Which I guess we'll start next next segment because you might already took a quick little snack time out. It sounds like I might have lost you. With that being said, I'll use this time to thank our presenting sponsor, the Good Feet Store. You guys know the drill. If you're in any type of pain, foot pain, knee pain, or back pain, I tell you all the time, but I got to tell you again. Because I want you guys to have the same level of relief that I have, that my dad has, having our pain alleviated, eliminated by these art sports. They're designed to take that pain away, folks. So go let them fit you for these things. Give them a try. You've got nothing to lose. Just try before you buy. Again, that's the Good Feet Store in Midtown Village. Or you can always go to goodfeet.com to schedule an appointment and find the nearest location to you because they are nationwide, folks. Again, that's the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. With that being said, the table is set. We got a fun one for you. Probably going to kick things off with KJ when we get back. Right now, you're listening to the Miller's Edge.
Own up! Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky becoming partly sunny this afternoon, breezy at times, the high 65. Fair tonight, the low 43. Tomorrow, partly sunny, the high 63. Friday, a sunny day. We start the day with 30s with frost, the high Friday afternoon 65. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 63 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
All right, let's ride. Welcome back to the Miller's Edge. We're here on the Tide. Wednesday, wet. Always wacky. Well, I think people listen to us on the show because we talked. 2 checks called in yesterday about doing a watch party. Well, there's going to be one. The Crimson Tide will play this weekend. We talked about having a watch party at Coleman. Well, that's where it's going to be as well. They'll host a watch party for the Tide's Final Four game on Saturday. Doors will open at 7 Central Time with tip-off set at 7:49. That's not a whole lot of time before tip-off. Admission will be free. Parking is available in the Coleman Coliseum parking lot and Capstone deck. Fans can enter through the north and east entrances to the Coliseum. They will have metal detectors, so don't go there packing. Not going to get in if you pack them. Clear bag policies is in effect. No outside food or beverages, so you can't drink or you can't tailgate, do nothing like that outside. Concession stands will be open. I'm assuming that's the grown man drinks. Merchandise will be available for sale on the concourse.
It's what you would expect. It's what you expect. So basically, they got the food, the drinks. You can go enjoy it and watch it.
But
on the
the
big
DJ that did the basketball game is not the DJ. I'm assuming. Well,
maybe they.
It said DJ giveaways. Said again, DJ giveaways and sponsor activations planned throughout. So they will have a DJ there. I don't think it's 2 checks because they just sent a text said it's not him. So they'll be using a different DJ.
Maybe they haven't reached out to him yet. Maybe they're just trying to get the word out. They try to throw this together. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I would just urge him to reach out to them and ask them, kind of say, hey, did y'all still need any I don't know. But, I mean, it is interesting. Right. We mentioned it yesterday, and it is being done.
Oh, they probably going to do that anyway. Everybody does that. But, I mean, it makes sense. But I think it's hopefully they'll reach out to him. I mean, I know he'd love to do it. He'd love to be down there rocking with the Tide. Nobody but us gives a piss about the Tide. All right, let's go to phones. 205-342-9904. Let's go to Hotlanta, the hotbed of rap music. A man with 3 and 4 concubines. That'll be KJ. What's up, bro?
You give a piss about them Gamecocks, man. I know that.
Oh, yeah, I give everything about my Gamecocks, baby. I got plaques on the wall. Man, listen, man, I got plaques on the wall. My jerseys and pictures are hanging in the hallways, and yeah, of course, bro.
I got
a
get
Hall
you back.
of Fame thing in there.
You had me cracking up laughing yesterday when you was like, you didn't even press record right. You should have re-recorded it. I cracked up so much.
You know
man,
I'm right, too.
One take, it's real, man. It's real. It's
I respect
authentic.
it. I respect it. First try. When I used to skateboard, there's a thing called First Try Fridays. Try to get it done on the first try.
KJ, you know how you take it? You did doing like you send up a picture to somebody and you be like, it says retake. You should.
Yeah.
They should have one of them on the Tide app that says retake the video.
They got it. They have it on there. I just did one take, man. Let's go, man. Who cares, man?
Let's go. I'm good. Well, let's ride it. Well, you free. Hey, you're live now, so ain't no retake. Let's go.
So I wanted to talk about yesterday. I kind of agree with both of y'all, and I think I agree with both of y'all were coming from when you were talking about like the brands versus the individual, like, you know what I mean, and professionalism and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you can go back like in time, man. Like a lot of people. I mean, I know it's corporate and it's uniform. I'm gonna give a story. It was back when I think it was the Manning camp, and Lamar Jackson was there, and I was there with another player. But I kid you not. Lamar Jackson came in there, man, with it was a banquet. We had a banquet. And me and the player were looking at Lamar Jackson like, yo, no way. Like, there's no way he's doing this. He came in with his do-rag, and we, like, you saw my eyes. Like, my eyes were like, no, Lamar, like, what are you doing? We're at the Manning banquet. Like, you can't. But looking back on it, now that I'm older, I'm like, yo, I respect that. Like, it's just individuality. Because I'm from corporate, and I'm big on, having the right mindset, being professional at all times. But sometimes individuality fails, man. Like, and Lamar is authentically him, and it works for him. So I think, like, back to what Corey was saying, like, sometimes it works, especially, like, having that own individual. And it goes back to something, like, even with, like, Johnny, with Mr. Namath, with his big fur coat. Sometimes when you step outside and be like your own individual person, it works for your brand.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think when you do it like that, I think that's fine. Like you said, I mean, like Lamar might be wearing his do-rag, and at first it might come off away, but like that's him. He's a Florida boy, like he, through and through. But I think, it's a little bit different though. Like in her case, where she's being herself, but she's also coming at people. She's kind of being disrespectful towards other people. Then that's when it starts to, at least in my opinion, it becomes detrimental. So I get what you're saying. I think there is a balance, and I don't mean like everybody has to wear a suit and tie or button every button up to the top like you're in private school. But I just was referencing, at Alabama, that was always preached to us, like that was instilled in us, and I respected it because to me it separated us from everybody else. We'd see other people when they travel, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of guys on our team, but man, why do we have to wear this? But there was something I took pride in. All right, we wear because we're going on a business trip, so we're going to dress up in our suits, and we don't have to necessarily wear a tie. We got to at least wear a button up under the coat. But then on the way back, if we won the game, which we pretty much won every game, we would earn the opportunity to wear our sweats on the way back. And so that was the staple for,
Oh, wow. That's why you guys had wore sweats? I thought y'all just had sweats.
No. We had to get permission to wear sweats. Yeah, if we lost, hell no, you got a suit. That's what I'm saying. Like that's that's Coach Saban, that's Coach Cochran. Like that's that unprecedented discipline that we had here. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be coming from that perspective, right? That's why.
I heard stories like that. But like when J-Mo them was there and stuff like that, I used to be like, yo, y'all ain't gonna be able to come here and just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. I've heard stories about, and they were like, yo, forget that. We're wearing what we want to wear. He gonna have to, like, he not stopping that. And that's the truth. He really wasn't stopping it. They was wearing grid.
Y'all just yelled at me. Y'all yelled at me about adaptation, right? Y'all just said, hey, when I was talking about the music, same kind of emphasis right here, because these coaches, I mean, it's kind of like my little brother, right? My mama used to be like the gang warden or run the prison, the warden. So we got beat down. We got hit with big clogged up church shoes with the heels. We used to call it the extension cord, but my mama called them the drop cord. Go get the drop cord. We used to get beat with the drop cord. We used to have to go get our own switch out the tree, and you better not get no little switch, because that's wrong.
I thought the small ones
we
were
got
worse,
beat. I know, but we got beat down. My point is, my little brother, he ain't getting nothing done to him, right? It's like he never received any of the things, the treatment that the other 9 of us did, because mom and daddy changed.
You can't do that either, though, in this generation, because they'll call the cops.
No, that's my point. You got to adapt and change. Nick Saban changed. Right. Nick Saban couldn't tell Kool-Aid, hey, you can't wear a green mouthpiece. Or he couldn't tell him, oh, so-and-so, you can't wear your grill on the trip. Or earring into the meeting room. Remember, we had Kenyon Drake on. He talked about they couldn't have an earring to go to the meeting room. So now times you can't do these things because, one, you're going to get reprimanded some kind of way. Number 2, you're going to lose the player. So these coaches had to change. That's what I'm saying. So when you look at Kim Mulkey, when you look at Angel Reese, look at the communication they had. Imagine one of the players going up to Nick Saban and be like, get me the effing ball. What's wrong with you? You know, you see that with her? I mean, that's what she was saying to Kim Mulkey. But, you know, back in the old school day, oh, she been benched. She been like, hey, go to lockers right now. Get changed. You out of here. Coaches can't act like this no more. So my point is, you have to adapt and allow these people to be themselves, because what they're selling, what Nick been saying, he said, create value for yourself. He teaches them how to do that, but they're doing it in a totally different way, which is why he's out of the league now, because the game has passed him by. And Kayla and the boys come in here and say, you know, cool, y'all want some music? Hey, DJ, spin them wheels. And there they go. Right?
Boy, don't ever say that again.
That's what they
don't ever say that again.
That was a little old school right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, I'm old, like man. What did they say now, man. KJ?
That was
what did they do now?
I ain't never heard that, yo.
They don't say that in Atlanta?
You gotta, you gotta spin the wheels of steel, baby.
Nah.
No, man.
Yeah, you okay.
Well, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, DJ, crank up the music, okay?
Well, let me ask KJ this. So, KJ, did you hear Emmanuel Acho and kind of his take on the Angel Reese? Basically, and if you haven't, in summary, he basically, we'll play it in a little bit. He basically said, you know, you can't take on that villain role and then expect people to have sympathy for you. And what are your thoughts on that?
It was given to her. It was not something that you know what I mean? Like, she became the villain just by her play. So that's like, it's more so like Draymond Green, right? Like,
I can't stand Draymond. I'm sorry.
So, you know what I mean? Like, he became a person, and I think, honestly, if I played sports, people wouldn't be able to stand me, because I'm going to be loud, obnoxious, I'm going to be in people's face, I'm going to be with the grill, I'm going to do it all, right? Especially if I'm winning, oh, Lord, you're not going to tell me nothing. But I do agree, you can't win and be, you know, loud and boastful and then lose and be crying and stuff like that. You got to take that Draymond Green approach and say, hey, look, I won my championship. See me next year. Like, I'm coming back.
Yeah, I would have basically said, Caitlin ain't got no ring yet. She got to win 2 more.
Oh, Lord, no, please don't do that. I'm so tired of the debates with that, man. Golly.
I know. But it is what it is. And we're going to talk about this because, as I said, it's the convicts, Miami. It's Notre Dame, the Catholics. It's good as that writer for LA Times who he, you know, retracted it. It's good versus evil. It's cookies and milk.
Y'all did a great job yesterday on that interview, too, as well, with Walmart.
Thank you, brother.
Great interview.
Man, appreciate that, man.
All right, KJ, we appreciate you, brother.
Okay, all right.
When we come back, I'm gonna let you hear what Emmanuel Ocho had to say about Angel Reese, who declared that she's headed to the WNBA. I don't agree with him, but I want you to listen to it. Tell me what you think. That's coming up on the flip right here on the Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide.
Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
On a wet, wacky Wednesday, 1:32 here Eastern time.
It's sunny here, brother. It's sunny here. So, not going to lie, you might be throwing people off because, I mean, it's beautiful outside. It might be one of the best days of spring.
here in Columbia, South Carolina. We had it yesterday, 87 degrees here. 87.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was gorgeous. All right, let's get into this. I want to play this interview from Emmanuel Acho, who I don't like either too much. You know what I mean?
You're not a fan?
I like his brother. Sam is his brother, one that does college football.
Are you sure?
Sam Acho.
Are you sure it's his brother, or they just got the same name?
I think they're brothers. And I think they went to T.D. Jake's church, and I think they're friends with T.D. Jake's son, who played football, too.
How do you know that?
Because I listened to a lot of different stuff, so I had to go back and check myself on that. But I think there is some friendship, relationship there. But anyway, I do believe that they are brothers. One played at Texas. I think Sam played at Texas, and I think Emmanuel played with T.D. Jake's son at maybe Liberty or somewhere. I don't know. All right, let's listen to what he had to say. This is Emmanuel Acho about the queen of the Bayou Barbie, Angel Reese, about her reaction in the press conference on, what night was that? It was Monday night. Here we go.
I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Now, if you want to say, well, Acho, cater your take based upon gender, Acho, cater your take based upon race, I will understand that. But I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because if you want to act grown, which she has, if you want to get paid like you grown, which you are, if you want to talk to grown folks like you grown, which you did post-game when you told a coach for an opposing team, watch your mouth. If you want to tell people, get your money up, then post-game when you take an L, you just got to take it on the chin. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be the villain. Shout out to you, because you were the second best basketball player on the court, and it was not close. Outside of Caitlin Clark, it was you. 17 and 20, dog. Showed up, biggest game, second biggest game of your career. Absolute dog. But you can't, under any circumstance, go to the podium and now try to ask for individuals to give you sympathy. No one has sympathy for the villain. You painted the bullseye on your back. Why are you surprised when people shoot at you? So if you want to act grown, if you want to pose grown, if you want to talk grown, if you want to talk to grown folks grown, then you got to take the L like you grown. Because what frustrated me is when you want to be the villain, but you want to hope for sympathy like a hero.
All right, there's Emmanuel Acho on his show. Listen, I don't like a lot of things Angel Reese does. That's been very noted, and I've been very loud about that. Angel Reese didn't ask, first of all, to be the villain. Angel Reese and her team were painted as a villain based on how they played the game of basketball, which is loud, in your face, physical, bully, and then they are not afraid to talk about it. Angel Reese got a lot of hype when she did the ring thing to Caitlin Clark last year's national championship game. And yes, she talks about how she's from Baltimore, she's built a certain way, that's why she plays a certain way, all of that. I get where she's coming from. Now, do I like everything that she does? No. Do I like everything that she says? Absolutely not. But in this particular instance, he's an idiot, and that's one of the dumbest things that I ever heard. Angel Reese didn't go to the platform asking for people to feel sorry for her. Angel Reese started crying, if you watch the video, because it was her teammate, Flo J, by the way, that basically told the media, y'all are painting this woman a certain way. She's one of the best teammates. She's one of the best people, and y'all don't know her. And I think that's where the emotion came from Angel Reese. Then her other teammate, Haley Van Lith, said basically she had said to the media that she thought it was racist, how people were attacking her and coming after her. And she stood and said the same thing, basically echoed what Flo J had said in the press conference. She didn't go asking, hey, we just lost. She gave Caitlin Clark her flowers. She said how great they were. They weren't saying anything negative. They didn't use it as an excuse. So what the heck are you talking about? I mean, yeah, she's been painted as a villain. Yeah, she's loud. And when you're loud, as I said yesterday, when you have strong opinions, you're going to get strong reactions. Yeah, you do have to be able to deal with that. And I think she dealt with that really well for the most part. This has not just been that the other night, Monday night. This has been going on ever since they won the national championship. And if you don't think what she's doing, and why I like and I applaud what she's doing, because she talks about the young girl, and when you've grown up a certain way and in certain society, you understand when somebody, it was like when I came out of my hood, so to speak, out of my situation, the young people looked up to you because you've got out of that place. You've gotten away from that place. You became successful when a lot of people have not. So you become a standard. You become one that carries the torch. You become one that you hope that young people can look up to and say, hey, man, this can be you. Even though a lot of people say it can't, but yes, it can. And so that's the torch that I think she really cares about for these young girls. She went on to say, hey, I've been sexualized. I've been, y'all don't even understand what she basically, what did she say? Y'all don't even understand what I've gone through. And I took it. I wore it on my shoulders, and I still try to be the leader because I wanted these young girls, even on my team, to stand to be that leader for them. Listen to what she says, and to go on a minute and 26 rant, which Emmanuel Ocho just did, it's dumb, it's stupid. You show yourself as an ignorant black man. That's what you do.
I mean,
and I hope you hear this some kind of way.
Just been ignorant man. I mean, I don't know why.
No, I'm calling him an ignorant black man because when you should understand where she's coming from because that's your heritage. You should understand her platform because that's your heritage. Let me finish. Let me finish. So that's my whole point with him. I mean, so to go at her and talking about, well, you can take it on the chin and blah, blah, blah. She did take it on the chin. The whole team took it on the chin. I mean, so my thing is, you get emotional. I can understand because her teammates, what they said about this woman who obviously has been through some hurting points in her life, who has been through some devastating things in her life. And so for her young girl that she's training to be leaders, to say these things about her obviously made her emotional. So, again, I don't like a lot of stuff she does. I think it needs to be toned down. But at the same time, I understand also a lot of things why she says what she says. And when you have been attacked, when you've been sexualized, when you've been mistreated to those things, and to get up there and to say what he said is 150% ignorant, period. And it's ignorant that media keeps painting these pictures of Caitlin Clark. I mean, listen, we know she's white. And I get it. When Tiger Woods was on his best in golf, black people pulled for Tiger Woods because it was a black man that went into the white world of golf and was winning. So they became huge Tiger Woods fans. A lot of them did, right? Most of them did. So I understand why white people get a Caitlin Clark who's shooting the freaking lights out from the rafter. The girl is bad. I mean, you say what you want to, but the girl is bad.
Where are we going?
My point is, all of this stuff with the media, the build up the Catholics versus the convicts, the cookies and milk versus the dirty debutantes, to all of these different things. All of this is all encompassed, son. It's what it all stems from. You don't look at the root of some things, but all of this comes from that. The whole villain, the whole LSU girl, black girls being loud, and all of this. So this is where all this stuff comes from. So that is the root of the evil in this. Well, the act don't help it. That's why I said what I said.
So let me because you've kind of gone on about a lot, and I forget what I want to say because you touch so many different things. I agree. I sympathize for what she's dealt with in terms of anything, outside of criticism on, because if you're an athlete, you're going to be criticized. We all know that. But also know if you go in front of the media or you go present yourself a certain way and you talk trash or you speak boldly, I'll give you an example. Just like you boldly came on the show, and I'm not trying to throw you on the bus, I'm just saying, you boldly came on and voiced loudly that you didn't feel Alabama basketball could beat UNC. You also had to boldly receive the criticism that came with it. When the people were coming at you that a little bit, it wasn't bad because they know you just mean, you're having fun with it. But I'm just saying, and you've even said this to me.
Well, that's totally different.
No, it's not. When you speak loudly, you have to be prepared for loud reactions. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, speaking loudly, that's speaking of.
Dude, have you not
that's
seen the things she said in
son.
press conference? What do you see? Like, this is what happens. The music starts playing. I don't even get a freaking point across. You got to break up.
No,
man, no, because
you can bring us back.
No. Listen, it keeps turning into, the black women, this, that. Like, listen, dude. I'm biracial, I'm black, whatever you want to, I'm white, whatever, right?
We know.
I know, but what I'm saying is this. I don't criticize her and LSU's basketball because it's the color of their skin. I could care less about that. That means nothing to me. But the way they act, when I just explain how the way we acted as a program here at Alabama, I don't see eye to eye with it. That's not my cup of tea. So I might criticize some of those theatrics, those antics that they do, the way they kind of perform and show off all that good stuff. Like, I might criticize that, and it has nothing to do with their skin color at all. And so, like, to say like what Emmanuel Acho was saying was, it's completely ignorant. No, what he's saying is, if you take on, that's your opinion, but if you're going to take on that role and you're going to talk, just like somebody like Deion Sanders, he's very loud, he's very proud, but I'm sure he also understands what comes with that. And so that's what Emmanuel Acho was saying. Like, let's just be honest. If they won that basketball game, would that press conference have gone the way it went? Or would they have been trash talking about how they just won and beat them and we're not scared? I told you we're not scared of Caitlin Clark. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and you're making it seem like she left the game. She went on social media. No. You know, like, let's be clear. After she lost, she was talking about everything that she's endured over the past year. It's not like she just magically all of a sudden we lost this game and now I'm seeing all this. No, she chose to bring that up right then in that moment. So yes, some people might say, hey, she kind of seemed like she was deflecting
because she was asked a freaking question. The guy asked her the question about, and that led to her going to theirs. It wasn't that she just brought it up. The guy asked her a question about
what was
her
the question?
teammates standing up for her, because he was like, how do you feel about your teammates basically standing up for you like this? And that drew out those emotions. So she didn't just bring that. All right, we got to get a break.
Oh my goodness!
Why didn't turn the music off? You done talk. You can have the whole segment talk about.
I've talked a minute and a half this whole segment while you went on a whole tangent about Caitlin Clark.
The next segment.
All this.
You got another minute. What are you crying for?
On, man.
We'll be back in a moment.
Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. The Martin Houston Show.
Join the Martin Houston Show as we keep the conversation rolling around this historic basketball team. Nate Oates and Mark Sears and company out in Arizona getting ready to take on the UConn Huskies. We'll also begin to look toward Saturday's big scrimmage with the Alabama football team. Those conversations and more right here on your home for Alabama Sports Talk 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. It is the Martin Houston Show.
Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor with over 26 years experience in Tuscaloosa. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-2503.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky becoming partly sunny this afternoon. Breezy at times, the high 65. Fair tonight, the low 43. Tomorrow, partly sunny, the high 63. Friday, a sunny day. We start the day with 30s with frost. The high Friday afternoon, 65. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 63 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. Thank you, Wyatt, for that Eminem. I was one of my favorite rappers growing up. You know me very well, sir. Here's the thing. I'm not even going to go on a whole spiel. I pretty much said what I had to say. I don't even remember half the stuff I even wanted to say. I'm curious why. I mean, do you have any thoughts on this? Because this is all I'm saying. I want to be clear. I sympathize for, like no one should receive that level of hatred where it's death threats, being sexualized, which, you know, I talked on that yesterday. I mean, I would say, though, if that's happening, maybe, you know, number one, log off social media, because a lot of this, honestly, all stems from social media. But two, man, I mean, because you just got to know, in today's society, you can't control other people, man. Like, in today's world, people are bad people. They're doing bad stuff, but you got to try to protect yourself the best that you can. But in terms of this, though, I don't know how else to put it. Like, it has nothing to do with race or what they look like or anything. It's how you act. And I just know if you put yourself in position to be that bully, that villain, and you embrace that, there's certain reactions that you're going to get, and they're going to get certain criticism. And like I see it in football all the time, and sometimes guys don't even deserve it. Like there's guys, they drop a pass, they're not even trying to be a villain. They make a human error, which everybody does. And if you see the stuff fans send to NFL players, oh, you're terrible, unalive yourself because you just lost my fantasy. Like, that's the world of sports. I'm not saying like, oh, she needs to get used to it, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So that's what I mean by try to protect yourself, maybe staying away from stuff on social media. But two, I almost feel like sometimes the way her and her teammates act, they encourage that type of reaction. I mean, do you have any thoughts on any of that, Wyatt?
Yeah, they like you said, they embrace that bully personality. They've embraced this idea of we're the big bad villain, and then you take an L on the chin there, and nobody's really going to feel sad for you because you've been, you've portrayed yourself as the villain. Well, now the villain lost. That's what everybody always likes to see is when the villain goes down. So they're not really, I agree with you. Nobody should be enduring this. Nobody should have to put up with, death threats or what the sexualization that she had been talking about. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like you said, a lot of it's based off social media. If just delete Twitter, delete Instagram, whatever. And I get, you've got brand deals and stuff like that, or turn notifications off or something.
You can always hand over your social media to your agency. That's very common. They do.
They're not handing over. They're not.
No. Actually, first of all, how do you know? You don't even I live in this day and age. Just people do that. You know how many celebrities have?
I'm saying she is not turning off because that's what the brand and that she does a lot.
You're not listening. That's what the agencies do. You hand over your social media. You still have access to it. This is very common. It's a very common practice. Your agent or whoever is your representative, they have access to your social media, and they take care of all your brand deals. So if you're required to post X amount of times, trust me, I know I do this stuff. So if you're supposed to post a certain amount of times, they can do that for you. They can put those stories up. They can put those posts up. You don't have to do that, but you still can have access to your Instagram or your Twitter if you want. But I'm just saying, if she needs to do that to kind of cleanse herself or stay away from that, that's a possibility. Because all I'm saying is, in this world, people are going to be people, right? And unfortunately, there's you can't protect yourself or steer clear of every single thing, but there are methods that you can do, or there's things that you can do. Just like, again, I don't want to get too much into sexualized stuff because I can't speak on her experience, and again, no woman should ever endure that. But I also, I look at things where, and she should be able to pose for Sports Illustrated if she wants it, and that makes her feel comfortable and confident. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just would say, if I was her father, which I'm not at all, I'm just saying, I would just tell, if I had a daughter, I would say, if that's something you want to do to feel confident, feel beautiful in your skin, great, but just know what kind of can come with this stuff. If you are posing in these types of swimsuits and it's on a huge display on a platform like Sports Illustrated, it's probably going to garner some type of attention that might be inappropriate. Because that's how people are. And I'm not saying that's what she was referring to when she talked about being sexualized, because I think there were some AI images nowadays. If some of our older listeners, AI, artificial intelligence, you can type stuff in and the computer generates images pretty much of whatever you type up. And so, for instance, there were some very vulgar Taylor Swift AI pictures when she was gaining all that steam, with the,
I think she actually even sued somebody. She probably did,
because it looked very real. It looked like Taylor Swift doing some provocative things or some very inappropriate things, but it was all computer generated. So, and that might be what
they're doing that now. That I've read, they're doing that now with people.
They can do voices. They can do AI voices and make it sound like people. So all I'm saying is, you can't sit there and sue or block every single account or person that says inappropriate things or posts, but you can try to, remove yourself or try to do little things. That's all I'm saying. Or if you know that, you don't want to be subject to quote unquote bullying, maybe don't bully the media, bully other coaches. What's your excuse for?
I don't think she's.
So her telling another a grown assistant coach, watch your mouth or whatever, speaking to her like that, you think that's okay? Where's the respect there?
I'm
saying, it sounds like
I've said stuff with other coaches who running their mouth, but that's competition. Come on, man. That's a whole other level. That ain't even nothing. We take something like that and we blow it up. That's you got teammates and yell stuff at coaches on the sideline and while they still playing ball. That's called the heat of the moment. People saying something back. That stuff is sports, man. I'm not talking about it. That's what I'm saying. And things are deeper than where y'all are going with all this other intricate stuff. I get it. I get all of that, but they didn't deem themselves as villains. Y'all keep saying that they want to be. No.
What are you talking about?
People are deeming them as villains. They never once said, "Hey, we're the villains."
So
they play a certain.
So you're telling me they've played no role in their reputation. You're telling me
I'm saying the way they act adds to what they act.
They act, super professional, extremely respectful.
I'm not telling you that.
No.
I never said that.
Okay, then. So that's what I'm saying.
Never said that one bit. But people have given them the villain name. They never once said that they're villains.
Let me ask you this.
They have people. No, let me finish. People have called them that based on how they play. I know this. They called South Carolina girls this a year or two ago as well.
They said they called them bar fighters.
They like bar fighters and all these, thugs and all kinds of things because they play the game physical, right? And people gave them these things. This stuff, and media people said these things. They were caught on and was handed to Don't Say the person that said that covered them, national media. So listen, man, these things are real things too. Now, that's why I preface what I said. I don't agree with everything they do. I've been saying that. It gets on my nerves sometimes. But at the same time, it doesn't give somebody a right. If a girl goes out here in a two-piece at the beach and I'm on the beach, I still don't have a right to say certain things to her. She can wear what she wants.
Don't twist what I said. I clearly said
I'm just saying.
You still shouldn't do that. But unfortunately, with the world,
I'm in control of my own thoughts and my own reactions, not somebody else.
Obviously, I have the respect to where I would never do or say any of that crap. But I'm saying, does that mean?
But my point is, that doesn't mean, she's been sexualized. Maybe she don't do a swimsuit. No, some stupid idiot or idiots. Plural to sexualize because that's their idiocy. That's not on her. Come on, man. So that's all I'm saying, bro. It's like these things people
wait, hold on.
Ignorant.
So now with these younger girls nowadays that flaunt and post a lot of revealing things online. Come on, man. I'm just saying, that's going to garner that type of attention. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's right, but at the end of the day,
but it don't mean that they need to be sexualized either.
I get that's why I don't want to touch this, because you're wording it as if I'm saying they're putting themselves in that position. I'm saying it's going to happen.
You can understand that, like me, I got strong opinions, and I can deal with people going to say, but I give it right back too. No, it ain't. It is. But I'm cool with it. It's like when you said the sports thing. I'm cool with it. But I know I'm going to stand and say what I believe. And I'm not changing because I think somebody else wants me to change. But if I think something's right, dadgummit, I'm going to stand for what I think is right. And what comes with it, comes with it. Period. We got to hit the top of the hour break. When we come back, we got phone calls lined up. We'll get right to you. 205-342-9904. Don't forget, you can download that free app, Tide 100.9. Absolutely free. Leave your thoughts, comments right.
A money back guarantee.
Text support to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
It's the Tide 100.9 30K workday payday. Woo! Win cash every weekday 8 to 5. Here's this hour's cash code.
276. Again, that's 276. The code is 276.
Enter that code now on the Tide 100.9 app. Click on the 30K payday button and enter the code for a chance to win $30,000. WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Coe.
A star wide receiver on the move in the NFL. Reports saying the Bills are trading Stephon Diggs to the Houston Texans in exchange for a second-round pick in 2025. Additionally, Houston will also receive a 6th-round pick this year and a 5th-round pick next year. The Athletic says Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups have been elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Reports say Steve Clifford will step down as the Hornets coach at the end of the season. In college basketball, LSU star Angel Reese declared for the WNBA draft. Reports say USC is targeting Arkansas coach Eric Musselman as the next head coach of the Trojans. Voters in Jackson County, Missouri rejected a sales tax measure that would have helped fund upgrades for the Chiefs' home Arrowhead Stadium. And in baseball, the Angels have an early 2-0 lead on the Marlins in the second inning.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Rolling as we kick off hour number 2 of the Miller's Edge right here on the Tide 100.9, 1230 a.m. WTBC. Corey Miller, Christian Miller, my man Wyatt Fulton behind the glass. He's getting ready to, let's see, it's Wednesday. I think he's got to leave for Atlanta probably tomorrow about 12. Right? That sound about right? He's losing an hour.
I'm staying the night in Atlanta tomorrow night, and then I'll fly out at 6 Friday morning.
6 a.m., about what, a 4-hour flight to Phoenix, something like that, 4.5?
I have a layover in Chicago. That'll last about an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll land in Phoenix about 12:30 time over there.
Man, have you ever been to Phoenix?
I haven't been to Phoenix. I've been out to like that area because for my senior trip I went down to Las Vegas and then went over and saw the Grand Canyon. But I've never been to Phoenix itself. I'm excited for it.
Nah, it's nice. I mean, you're gonna like Phoenix. That stadium is nice. I think Christian Todd played there to beat Clemson there, I believe, in that stadium.
2015.
Where they're going to have the basketball game. Yeah, 2015. But Phoenix is nice. We always go out there because back when I was with the Giants, they were in our division. They were the Phoenix Cardinals back then, and we always go out to Scottsdale, which is the resort out there. I was in the Nike Foot Locker Slam Dunk celebrity contest out there. Had a great, I mean, just the area, the golf courses, the food, people are healthy and in shape. You know what I mean? It's just a good, cool place, and I think you're going to have a really good time. Hopefully the Tide will be there the whole weekend, so you get a chance to really enjoy it, that atmosphere out there. And the allergies will be none. That's a good thing. You don't have to worry about that pollen and all that foolishness. So Wise getting ready to go cover the Crimson Tide as Nate Oates and the boys are out there practicing, getting ready to take on UConn. Of course, we'll have all the coverage right here on all of our stations, the Tide 100.9, 1230. You got the Bear, you got all of them. Wyatt, of course, probably be pre-writing stories and probably have to tear some and rip them up. Might have to, you got to be ready to go. The win, loss, whatever. You got to be on top. I never was a writer, so I'm assuming that's what you got to do, right, Wyatt?
He's taking a call. We've got a bunch of people lining up to offer their thoughts. So, matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's jump into that because the phone lines are jammed and the app messages. So, yeah, let's start with Tommy. Tommy, welcome into the Miller's Edge. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, we're good.
Doing great, brother. Hope you're doing well, my man. Two-time Tommy.
I am. I just wish I was going to Arizona, not for the basketball game. Get rid of all this pollen. I'm just watching the crap dancing outside the door. I thought it was supposed to rain last night and wash this crap away. They just danced. That wind.
Well, we got all your rain. I wish I could have gave you some, man. The time I left my sunroof open last night, sometimes you get your car and forget to close all the windows or the sunroof. And, man, I got my car this morning. I had puddles of water. Like, all of my cup holders was filled with water. I had debris from my trees all inside the car. I mean, it was horrible. I slept through the storm, but we had a horrible storm last night, and I didn't even know it.
It was just raining here. We didn't lose power, nothing like that, which I'm thankful. I hope nobody didn't have much damage. So that's a good thing. But, going back to the young lady at LSU, when you get built up by social media, they love to tear you down just as quick as they build you up. And I do not think nobody, let me repeat this, I think nobody should get death threats just being a ball player. It's ridiculous. We have a councilman, a former councilman in Northport resigned. It's him and his family was getting death threat because a group of people didn't agree with his thing. It's ridiculous. What happened to the old saying, we agree to disagree. We have something in common. But we don't have that no more. You're wrong, I'm right. You're right, I'm wrong. There's no in between. And nobody have no decency to find the middle of the ground. Just like when the football team acted up after the Rose Bowl. Nick Saban was very upset. They didn't show their class and all this. I'm like, it wasn't white and black players I was mad at. I was mad at the football team. Because one, they represent my school, my state. I want you to be an example. If you lose, fine. Lose with class. Win with class. That's what Coach Bryant used to say. That's what Coach Stoller say. And I'm pretty sure Nick Saban has said the same thing. All great coaches say that in any sport. But we don't have. But we don't like you. We gotta hate. We gotta hate on people. I just don't understand. I mean, the young lady should be praised for coming from Baltimore, getting out of her situation. I know she got game. She got swagger. And sometimes, like all 18 or 22-year-olds, I was there. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut. But, being young and you know everything, you don't keep your mouth shut. That's just a part of growing up, maturing, becoming a responsibility. I hate that this young lady was such a lie and all that. And what the most amazing thing she said the other night when they lost, after they won the national championship last year, she haven't enjoyed being a national champion. I was floored by that. I mean, when you become champion, everybody wants. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so that was. I forgot she said that, but that was totally.
Yeah, but
deep,
you know what I didn't like? She said since I won the national championship, it was kind of like the wording of it. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but it just. You laugh, but I'm just saying, like
Well, she probably didn't mean I. I mean, she's probably just saying. I mean, but anyway, I get what he's saying. I mean, that is heartbreaking. The fact that you a team that came out of nowhere, nobody expected you to win, and then Kim Mulkey's second year, you win a national championship. That's pretty huge.
It is, and for some reason, they did that hit piece on her Thursday before the game. I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you my age, and you're going to laugh at me. Go ahead. I deserve it. I can remember when Kim Mulkey played for, I think, La Tech, and she had ponytails or pigtails. She was a point guard for them. I think Cheryl Smith at Miller beat them for the national championship. I can remember when she played, and she was a competitor then. And after 45 years, and she'll probably get mad at me for saying that, but she hasn't lost her zest for the game. And sometimes people don't like that. I don't know why. And they're like, the guy pointed out, she haven't talked to her father in 37 years. I'm like, to this reporter, and I'm going to get on the media, it's none of your blank business. She might have a reason, something terrible she don't want to share with the world. There's nobody's business but her. I don't understand why we have to dig up every little crumb on somebody. You build them up, and you just enjoy tearing them down. And I can see the pressure get to the young lady, and it happens to all of us. I just hate it. I mean, I don't know what else.
I think you're spot on, Tommy. I agree with 100% everything you said. Everything. And it's sad. I mean, but we live in this world, and listen, social media is a blessing and it's a curse, right? It's just what it is. I mean, can you individually now individualize yourself and build your brand and make us? Think about it. Everybody has a podcast now. Everybody can do their own radio. Whatever, you don't have to go to journalism school. You don't have to, go through that process or play the game or whatever it may be. You can just do everything yourself through social media. So it's a blessing, but then yet people seem to be able to connect with you. They can get to you. They can say things, so it's a blessing and it's a curse in my opinion. And, God may have intended to be a good thing. I do a lot of speaking through it or do little short messages. I get great responses, but at the same time, it could be also a curse. So you just got to try to deal with it the best that you can.
For sure. I mean, it just is a great tool, but it's a terrible tool. It's a praise. It's a demon I just hate to see people really going through. It's uncalled for, really.
No, 100%. And I just want to be clear. Like, when I don't want to sound like I'm not sympathizing with it, because I do. I mean, as a player, you know, I just by me jumping off sides against Louisville, I had Alabama fans roasting me on my Twitter account and coming at me and saying all type of stuff as if I'm like the worst player ever because I made a human mistake, right? You know, something simple. So I get it, and I can only imagine, because she's on a much higher magnitude. Even though I played here, you know, with her, the attention that she's getting right now is huge, paramount. But I just, at the same time, I also am a realist, and I understand that sometimes you can play into things, and you can. I'm not saying she's necessarily a catalyst for it, but you can encourage sometimes even more of it, because there's going to be that stuff there regardless. Even like my dad said, with other reasons, right? Or other people's hearts might come at you for a certain reason. But, you know, also know that sometimes if you carry yourself a certain way, I'm not saying you will avoid all of it, but I know people are going to have a little more sympathy or grace for somebody who they view from their perception as somebody who themselves have grace. They're respectful, they're professional. That's just life, and that's just the way it is. People are going to treat those people probably a little bit nicer, a little bit better, hopefully, than they would somebody that they might deem as cocky, arrogant, you know, disrespectful, and that's just how it is. So that's all I'm saying. But you're right. At the end of the day, there's no place for it. I mean, it's ridiculous that, you know, young athletes deal with this kind of stuff, but with social media, it makes it too easy. People are just hiding behind their phones and keyboards, and they can say and do whatever they please without many consequences, because half the time you don't even know who it is. They don't even have a picture of themselves.
I know. This is what bothers me. If she got death threats, isn't that a federal crime on the internet or some type of crime?
It probably is.
I mean, you can't find the person because you can have 475 alias. I mean, you know, y'all gave me 15. Y'all gave me 15 over the last month, so, you know, I need to start writing mine down. I mean, bad enough I got a split personality, but hey, you giving me more. But no, we don't know how to win with class anymore or lose with class, and the same thing with the fan base. And when people start betting on games, I hate to use this terminology, they think they own you, but they don't. I mean, if you're stupid enough, excuse me for saying that, to bet on an 18 to a 24-year-old person playing men and women's sport, you're an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry, Tristan, I didn't bet on you because you jumped offside. I was mad because you jumped offside. Yeah, but no, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know, I'm being facetious now, but no, people.
That's funny.
All right, Tommy, two-time Tommy. We appreciate you, brother. Good words, wise words. All right, take care of yourself. Quick break. We got a lot of people lined up. We're going to get to all of you, I promise you. Max, you're up next. We got tons of app messages we want to read, and we got about 44 minutes of the show left, so let's get with it. Quick timeout. More coming up from the Miller's Edge right here on the Tide, 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. We're the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
As low as 3.9? Okay, here's Townsend Nissan Power Buys. New third row Pathfinders with rates as low as 1.9% financing. Wow, Townsend Nissan is your #1 dealer.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky becoming partly sunny this afternoon. Breezy at times, the high 65. Fair tonight, the low 43. Tomorrow, partly sunny, the high 63. Friday, a sunny day. We start the day with 30s with frost. The high Friday afternoon, 65. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And we're back right here on the Miller's Edge Tide 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. We're getting closer, folks. Almost that time for the Final Four. We talked about Wyatt about to take his trip out to Phoenix. But for those that will be going, or if you're going to be watching it here, as we now know there will be a watch party at Coleman make sure you head on over to Alumni Hall and get the latest and greatest Final Four gear, folks. They have the officially licensed Alabama Final Four merchandise right there at Alumni Hall. They've got the Nike hats, the T-shirts, the pendants, the stickers, all that good stuff. Final Four edition for Alabama basketball right there at Alumni Hall in Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa. So go check that out right now and load up on all that gear because it's probably limited, folks. It's probably only so much of it. So make sure you head on over there right now to Alumni Hall. If you're not local, head on over to the website, alumnihall.com, where you can also find those same deals on all that Alumni Hall Final Four Alabama gear. Again, alumnihall.com, where the Ultimate Crimson Tide fans shop. Back to the phone lines we go because we are loaded here on the Miller's Edge. Let's go to Max. Max, welcome in. Max, are you there? We'll see if he's still there in a second. I know Wyatt's checking on it. We can try to circle back. We can go to Turner while we wait on that. Turner, welcome into the Miller's Edge, sir.
Guys, how's it going, man?
It's going well. How about you? It sounds like you're driving down the road.
Yeah, I'm coming back from Chucktown. I was in Charleston last night today for work, and boy, Corey, it did rain. Woo!
Was it? Now I missed the storm. What time was it when it hit?
I don't know, but in Charleston, it started raining probably about 8 o'clock this morning, and it rained. And now I'm about Orangeburg now, and it's just cloudy skies. So, but I don't know if it rained last night or not. I know you're up in the Lexington area, right?
I'm actually more downtown, Forest Acres, so you'd be coming right past me. Okay. You headed to the upstate, right?
No, I'm heading back to Lexington.
Oh, well, I'm Forest Acres. Well, you know where I'm at, Forest Acres, Forest Lake Country Club. That's where I live, right by there.
Yeah, okay. But, one, I'm very excited about the Final Four. I did not put any, I'll be honest with you, when after the bit of the end of the season and in the tournament, I just did not put any stock in this team. But I tell you what, they found their groove, and they're playing defense, and they are shooting lights out. And that Stevenson kid went off the other night. Him and, what's his name, the point guard? Sears.
Mark Sears.
Yeah, Mark Sears.
Woo! Them two boys were lighting us straight up. But I am happy to see the Tide in the Final Four. I know I lived in Alabama when Wimp Sanderson was the coach. He used to make Sweet 16 pretty regularly, and Godfrey made a run, and now we're finally in the Final Four. But going back to the girl with LSU and just the girls' team in LSU, I think, and this is totally my opinion, but I think their attitudes are a reflection of their coach.
Yep.
Agreed.
I think it was the South Carolina LSU game. I think there was a little tiff on the court. And
SEC championship game.
The post-game, the LSU coach, she had like an attitude, and then Dawn Staley was just like trying to just, hey, things happen, move on. You know, she was classy with it. I think Dawn Staley showed a lot of class saying that. Now, in regards to the girl getting death threats, no one should ever have to put up with that. And it's a double-edged sword. You know, when you get kind of quote-unquote celebrity status, which you didn't, you're going to have crazy people and the a-holes of the world saying stuff to you. And, I mean, I'm just a regular Joe, and I have people say stuff to me. I just ignore them. I don't even reply. So you know, because it don't matter if it's your sports team, your politics, your religion. If you put it out there on social media, someone's going to say something about it, whether they agree with you or not.
They're coming, bro.
Yeah. And, Christian, I agree with you. If I had a daughter that was 21 or 22 years old, and let's say she goes out to the club and she's wearing provocative clothing, and she comes back and says, hey, Dad, these guys were hitting on me all night, rude to me, and they were being just guys, right?
Right.
With no excuse for it, I'd be like, the first thing I would say to her, well, you may want to change your attire. Now, a woman should be free to wear the attire that she wants to. But guys are going to be guys, and I'm not making an excuse for guys to act like that, because I sure don't raise my son to act like that, and I never will.
Exactly.
But that's just the way it is. You know, how you present yourself, whether with class or no class, how you dress, male and female. Unfortunately, society judges you like that.
Yeah.
So put your best foot forward, you know. But I hope, you know, the people leave the girl alone. She's a fantastic basketball player. But I do think that the LSU girls, they play with that attitude, you know. They
No, they do.
They play
I mean,
you know. But that's my opinion on the subject. I hadn't talked to you guys in a while. I just figured I'd call in, donate, contribute a little bit to the show, and I enjoyed you guys. And Roll Tide. Talk to you later.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Turner,
be safe on I-26, headed up back to Columbia, and then you're going to hit I-26. You're probably going to hit number 1 right there by the hospital, Lexington Hospital, or you can hit the other road. Number 1, or you got 378 right there. You can get to Lexington. So be safe. Good to hear from you. I always know that you're listening, and I love the fact that we got several Alabama fans that live here in our great state of South Carolina. But he's right.
Really all over, man. That's California recently. Somebody else was from PA recently. And
we got a lot here in Columbia. When I wear my gear out, and I see people all the time from Starbucks, or, you know, place I go, and restaurants. A ton of Alabama fans right here in the great state of South Carolina. And we got friends who their kids went to Alabama as well.
Everybody loves
everywhere.
Bama, man. You can't not love
everybody.
Bama.
Yeah. I mean, y'all the Catholics, right? We're the convicts down here.
Oh my! See that? There he goes.
I'm just kidding.
Wait. So wait, is that what is that the report like said that they said Catholics versus
And that was Miami back. You don't remember? You probably too young, but
what are you talking about? Like back when, like Ed Reed, Miami, like that Miami.
They had Miami, and when they're bad boys, Miami.
Okay. Let's call a spade, though. I mean, they might have actually literally had a couple convicts on the team. Now, I mean, like they
probably did. I mean, they had the rapper. What was that name? Luke Campbell. Or something like that.
Wait. You know, speaking of a rapper at Miami, you know, Greg Olson made a song.
The 7th Floor Crew. I love that.
You know that? You know what's crazy? He does. If you mention that, he gets so mad. That got brought up my rookie year. I forgot who brought it up. I think somebody was playing around and asked him to like sing it like for the rookie performances. And he was heated. Like he was like extremely mad. We were like, oh dang, like he's actually dead serious right now. So yeah, if you ever meet Greg Olson, phenomenal dude, man. He does a lot of great stuff for his son and that charity. He's got a heart condition, but don't mention that song he made in college, even though he was a young dude. And it's you know, like Turner said, man.
What was it? Why the 7th floor? What?
The 7th Floor Crew. As a 22-year-old, I still find it incredibly hilarious. I've listened to it before. No, God, no. We cannot play that. That's
okay.
Yeah, just it was him and a bunch of his teammates, and I mean they lived on the 7th floor in one of the complexes down there in Miami while they were playing college football.
He
and
basically was describing some of the stuff, the activities that they. Look,
you remember
the
app message from Monday about Kawhi Leonard? It was similar activities to that.
Yeah, and probably a couple steps further, if I remember correctly, because I actually ended up hearing it. But listen, though, and it's kind of like Turner said. I mean, like, unfortunately, dudes are going to be like, you know how college dudes act and talk. I mean, that's all Greg was being funny at the time. But obviously now he's, you know, nearing 40. He looks back and he's probably not very proud that he made a record talking about some of those activities. But I'd be lying if I sat there and said, like, I've never heard of some guys doing stuff like that. I mean, like, you guys can probably use your imagination. Wyatt, we know we had...
let me just tell you, back in the day, Miami was so off the chain, bro. Like my freshman year at South Carolina, 1987, huge fight at Miami. Huge, throwing blows fight. I mean, they were dirty. They were great. Nobody had the talent Miami had. Right. I mean, they were, man, I'm talking about South Beach, you know, Luke Campbell, remember that? He had a horrible, horrible rap song, These Are Girls, South. I mean, and if you think Angel Reese Angel Reese would be looked at as a saint compared to what was happening at Miami.
And I don't think she's the worst person. I want to be clear. She's not that bad. I'm just saying she definitely portrays herself much differently than like how we.
She's just from Baltimore, as you say. I'm from Baltimore.
We had plenty of people from Baltimore on Alabama's team. We had plenty of people from, bad spots.
But you had teammates added the fool. Tim Williams was a fool.
Listen, first of all, let's not name people like that. But they listen.
But that's the truth.
But
we name Angel Reese. We can name everybody else.
Listen. When they were in the public eye, when they were doing press conferences, when they were there was an expectation for them to behave in a professional manner. And I'm not saying, if you come from those areas, you should, whatever the terms is. I'm not saying don't be yourself.
Ruben came from a tough situation.
Extremely tough.
And he
cigarettes
also, and black and mild is who he was.
Okay, but he's also extremely likable. If go listen to any of his interviews, man, just great songs.
And I promise you that the people that at LSU love Angel Reese, her teammates. Because let me just tell you something. If I'm going to go in the foxhole, give me the Angel Reese type. I don't want somebody going wrong.
I'll take her in my I don't know. She might be a little selfish now. She might look out for herself.
She's going to be selfish because she's a great teammate. You can say what you want to. Her teammates tell the story who she is. All right, we got a lot more calls, a ton of app messages. We're going to shut up and let Wyatt. He going to rap Greg Olsen's song.
No. Can't do that on the show.
All right, we'll be back.
Taken off.
I've heard many a story from those Miami teams. My dad grew up a Miami fan. They were.
Oh, he knows then.
Oh, yeah.
Ask your dad about South Beach. That's all. We'll be back.
That's where he grew up.
Whoa.
RiverResort.com. Brian McKnight 4.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Harding Construction. Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rentals. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation,
whenever I get them, whether it be lunch or for dinner, in my household, it's always a winner.
Order the chicken strips on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customer paid for their testimonial.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
All right, welcome back. I was hoping Wyatt come back with some Luke Campbell rap.
Who?
We're getting to the Luke Campbell. Just Google Luke Campbell, and you'll know Miami football. I mean, there was like a 30 for 30 on all this stuff. I mean, he was hooking them up, man. I'm talking about when I was living in the world like that. We go down to South Beach, bro. You go to them clubs. I mean, we had to pay $15,000 just to get into the back, to get our private room, and then you get them huge, vodka bottle, Crown, champagne, Moet, Dom Perry. But, I mean, we'll have like 4 or 5 of us get a room, and we will literally spend, this is how stupid we were. I mean, this is how stupid kids are today, too, and you try to tell them, and then you don't know anything, but like, there's nothing new under the sun, young man. But we done spent $40,000, $50,000 in the club and women and bringing all the women back there. I mean, Miami football players was doing that with Luke Campbell. No, they didn't have, there wasn't no NIL.
There was Luke Campbell.
Luke Campbell was their NIL, but it was pretty bad. Wyatt, let's get you busy on the read, bro. Let's see what we got from a lot of these app messages.
First app message from Ricky says, whoever's sensitive about trash talk in women's sports isn't really a fan of sports. There's no way you can love Michael Jordan and Kobe and then hate Angel Reese for some trash talk. People are picking and choosing their outrage, and it's ridiculous. I'm all for smack talk. It's great for sports, and those ladies respect each other behind closed doors, contrary to popular belief.
Well, I'm in 100% agreement. Amen to the church, Ricky.
Shout out to Ricky. I think that's Ricky from L.A., but Ricky, I got to disagree to an extent. I mean, because the only thing I always say is, I'm not referring to her trash talking like on the court. Like, I mean, if that's how she wants to go about it, she can go about it like that. But again, I mean, I'm not a huge trash talker. I wasn't necessarily. Now, there was at times, right, when a dude would say something to me, I might start giving it back to him. I wasn't, doing all that. But even then, I'm not referring to what she's doing on the court. I mean, because I would do that, but then I would always be applauded of how I conduct myself in interviews, right, or off the field. That's more so what I'm referring to. And I'm not saying she can't do that. She's entitled to act however she wants to act. However, I do believe if you go in the media and you portray yourself kind of like a villain, you kind of come off a little unprofessional. You come off like you're bragging about your bag and a little arrogant. Then I do believe that, unfortunately, you are going to be subject to a little more criticism than somebody who is a little bit more, like I said that earlier, like somebody that kind of is a little more modest. That's all I'm saying. I know what you mean, though. There probably are some people that are having a double standard with that type of stuff. Me personally, no, I'm not. Again, trash talk in sports is trash talk. I mean, I think it makes it more competitive. Sometimes it makes it more fun. That I still am not a huge fan of Draymond Green because I think he just is way over the top. I mean, that's like past trash talk.
But so that's when you get to the point you're hurting your team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's just ignorant. Like, to me, he's way over the top. Right. Like, I can't stand him. So that's my thing. I get your point, though, Ricky.
Good stuff there, Ricky. Let's go continue to go on with our app message from Mr. Wyatt Fulton.
Tia says she just has to continue being unapologetically herself. Some people are going to like you and some people are going to hate you. I've been there digging deeper into a role because someone will try to humble you. For example, we don't know what that assistant said to her for Angel to react that way. You can be a saint and do things the polite and nice way, Christian is saying, but the media or fans can still flip it on you and want you to fail. We're all different people with different personalities. That's the great thing about America.
That's true.
Once again, I am 150% in agreement with that because we don't know what the woman said because they didn't go capture to see what the coach said. They just captured what Angel Reese said, watch your mouth. That was the whole focus. Nobody cared what the coach had said. He could have said anything. We don't know. Listen, again, to be an athlete, to be, and I talk about it from my experience a lot because that's what I know. And I understand, and I always told both my boys this, but compete. Listen, I know they came from a little different place than a lot of on the football team, right? Than the Reuben Fosters and things like that.
Hold
on. Let me finish. Nobody's perfect, but a lot of players, athletes, and I tell kids this today, who come from better areas, they're going to have teammates that come from a lot worse areas, and that's going to be totally different, right? And they look at things totally different because based on their history and what they've gone through. Angel Reese came from a tough inner city area, which I happen to know something about too. I lived in New York. I got a lot of relatives that live in inner city that they're built different. They're just built different. And so you have to learn to respect where they come from, right? Even though you may have a different and come off more polite and more business and this, that, and the third, they come at it hard way. They grew up hard. Therefore, they had to go at the things the hard way and don't make it all right.
Bro, there's countless people that have come from those environments and have gone on to go to Harvard and literally. And the reason I'm using that example is me. Dude, there's more than you think. There's a lot of TV personalities who like what I'm saying is you like that. I'm just gonna be transparent. I think what you're talking, that mentality that you're describing, I think that holds a lot of people back. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you try to say like, oh, where I came from is like that automatically means you have to be a certain way.
You're totally missing the point.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You have zero.
I think that holds a lot of. You're right because you make it seem like I was spoon-fed. I wasn't. Dude, I grew up with a single mom.
But you have nothing about the inner city and the hood. You don't know. You have no. I'm saying you don't understand that platform. You don't understand that platform.
What I'm saying,
it's not an excuse. It's in with her how they built, where you grew up, and how you had to grow up. Sometimes,
and I understand that completely. But I also
how you
believe
fight
that
and get through things. That ain't nothing about holding anybody back. But anything, it helps to propel you. If you're smart, you use that as something that pushes you to be successful, pushes you to get you out of that place, pushes you to do things in a totally different way. Now, coaches will tell you. They go out and they just use a different word now. They call it dogs, right? That's what they say now. Oh, he got that dog mentality. And most people that have been in those in the whole situation and having to fight their tail out, they the ones normally, not all of them, but normally will have that dog mentality. Angel Reese has a dog mentality because of her upbringing and what she's gone through. And what she tries to be is telling little young black women, girls, listen, don't be ashamed of yourself. Don't. You know, I always tell people this in my ministry: don't let your environment define you. Don't let where you come from define who you are as a person.
That's literally what
right?
I just said.
And so you just gotta learn how to fight. You gotta learn how to scrap. You gotta learn how to do what you got to do to outperform the next guy. And that's kind of how I perceive Angel Reese as a person. As a person, we want to get to all these app messages. Go ahead, Wyatt.
No, you just
what
proved
we have
my
next?
point. That's literally what I just said. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Next one from Mac. We're taking a little bit of a break from the football and the Angel Reese talk a little bit. Mac says, Corey, did you find your mother-in-law's dog?
Oh, he missed it yesterday, the end of the show, because that little dog. Did y'all see the picture? I know Noah saw it that I sent. I sent on the Miller's Edge group text, right? He does his. What do you call it when your bottom teeth overlap? What do you call that?
An underbite.
Underbite.
Underbite. He has a huge underbite. Cute little thing. He's smart, but he works himself out of the gate. So we got Kane Woman coming on. Show getting ready to start. You know, I'm logged in. I'm like, no, man, I don't know. I don't want to miss the interview, right? But I don't feel like having to get in my truck and having to drive around the neighborhood to find this overbitten dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even mine. But so I chose not to go look. I chose to get on and start the show with Christian. And it was the second segment, Christian. The dog's not looking at the door from in my kitchen. I looked at my door, and there he was. There's Mr. Andre.
His name's Andre?
He came back, so, yeah.
That's kind of questionable. Isn't this like an 85-year-old white lady? She named her dog Andre?
Yeah.
Huh.
With an overbite.
That's interesting.
She's in Japan, by the way. Matter of fact, they just had a tsunami somewhere in over those parts, and I told my wife, like, I'm concerned because she's went to Japan and then Tokyo and then hopped on a cruise ship, and so I don't know where she is, but hopefully she's safe from all this earthquakes and tsunami stuff. So I appreciate it, but the dog did come back, and Corey's not letting him out again. I'll relieve myself from those duties.
What we got, Wyatt? We got a lot, and I don't want to miss out on these.
Yeah.
These little guys.
Next one from Mike says, tweeting Angel saying, haha, you lost and take this L is different than threatening her and having racist remarks at her, saying she invites this as part of the problem. Once we start locking up all the weirdos who make it more than sports, only then will we solve this problem. Seth got death threats because of the way he snapped the ball. So that shows you can be a stand-up person and it could still be an issue. She wasn't crying about people saying they don't like her. She was crying because she was getting sexualized and death threats. Nothing she did invited that or made that warranted.
Now, see, that's now I respect that.
I agree again. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well said.
I forgot who said that. Why?
It was Mike in Huntsville.
Yeah, Mike. I think that's a great way to put it. You're right, because people were coming for Seth, and he was getting those. Those types of comments, I don't laugh at that, but I mean, it's crazy that you think about it.
He was pretty bad.
No, he was, but still, he shouldn't. That's not an excuse to basically, give the guy death threats. But what's crazy is, to be fair, people did kind of have a different perception about that versus her. So I mean, that was a very good message. I agree.
Yep. Well, we got tons more. We're gonna get them all in. Wyatt, you doing work today, man. We appreciate you, brother. Quick time out. We'll come back with more app messages right here from the Tide 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. Back in a moment.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Alabama has made their way to Phoenix, Arizona. A lot of media coverage. We'll start that at 2 p.m. We'll talk to Aaron Torres, Fox Sports national analyst. We'll talk to Connor O'Gara Saturday down south. A lot of coverage for the next 4 hours starting at 2 p.m. right here on The Game. T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program.
Back guarantee. Text support to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky becoming partly sunny this afternoon. Breezy at times, the high 65. Fair tonight, the low 43. Tomorrow, partly sunny, the high 63. Friday, a sunny day. We start the day with 30s with frost. The high Friday afternoon, 65. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Edge on this sunny Wednesday here in Tuscaloosa, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Wyatt, might as well let you go ahead and get at it because I think we still got a loaded inbox on the Tide app.
Yeah, we got 3 more here. Keith in Enterprise says Miami also got off the plane wearing fatigues when they played Notre Dame for the national championship.
What year was
sure
it?
did.
What year that was back in the day, right?
Yeah, that was back in the big Catholic versus convict storyline between the two.
So Miami was wearing fatigues, meaning like sweats, right? Is that what they mean by fatigues?
Miami was bad, bro.
I Googled it and it looked like military attire, I guess.
Oh, really?
Let me just tell you, man, I played against them. I'm just trying to tell you, it was bad. Like, it was extremely bad.
Hold on. They mean like military fatigues.
Yeah. I mean, they would have tripped, man.
Wait, hold on. So is this like, was this supposed to be funny or like were they being dead serious? Like, I'm kind of confused.
They were hardcore, man. They were a hardcore bunch of dudes that were extremely talented, that was living the fast life like nobody's business. Like I
Where do you rank our dynasty compared to them? That's the real question. Because Derrick Henry brought it up. He said when they do a documentary on the Bama dynasty, it's gonna be legendary. I agree.
Alabama, to me, what Nick Saban did was much more than what Miami was. Now, I think Miami had you on the athletes back then. I mean, they were loaded. But both were extremely, extremely talented football teams that were, I mean, if you go back and see how the coaches had to, when you hear me talking about those neighborhoods and bad going in those places where white people couldn't even go and how the coaches had to secure and sneak it. I mean, dude, it was crazy where they was going to recruit these kids from.
Wait. I thought Miami was like 2003.
No. I'm going back. I mean, that too, but I'm going back even with my days.
Wait.
Miami's been good for a long time. Let's not get caught in the Miami thing.
No. I'm asking because do I have the times mixed up? Because I'm thinking like Greg Olsen.
I don't know the exact dates.
01 Miami's considered one of the best teams of all time.
Well, I was about to say Greg Olsen, all the running backs. What was it? Clinton Portis, I think.
But you have to go back
Beeson.
to Michael Irvin.
Sean Taylor was on a couple of those teams.
I'm thinking of the early 2000s. I think he's talking
Warren
about
Saps to the. I mean, dude, it was loaded. Like my era was loaded, and even further after that, they were loaded, and then they got in trouble, and it was. You just got to watch the 30 for 30. You'll learn a lot about it. I think you see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We got 2 more white. What we got, buddy?
Yeah. Tax says there's a difference between Kobe, Michael Jordan, etc. They were trash talkers. They did it on the floor and never played the victim.
See, so the last message that we had regarding that, I agree that with what he was saying in terms of all that good stuff about, that she's still not subject to some of this extra stuff, 100%. But then with this one, that's kind of what I was getting at. That when Ricky was comparing to the Michael and stuff, I'm like, yeah, they do that on the floor. That's what I meant, like in the games. Like that's a little bit different. Like people like that competitive chatter, but then off the court, is and I know she's paid her respect to Caitlin Clark too off the court, but I don't know. Kobe was okay. Number one, I met Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But I met him when he came here, and not just that, but just if you ever just watched him. I mean, first of all, dude spoke multiple language. Dude was probably one of the smartest people. I mean, the dude was like borderline like Gandhi. Like, I mean, like he was like, what was it called? Those people like I can't even think right now. I'm so hungry. I need to eat something. But basically, he's like a stoic.
I got some pretzels,
you know what I'm saying?
Some peanut butter.
Yeah, I bet. But like he's like a stoic. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he was that Mamba on the court, but like off the court, I mean, like everybody respected him because it's not like yeah, he could come off kind of.
Kobe was a dog, man.
No,
Kobe
but he could come off a little arrogant at times. I get that, but it was totally.
Kobe was extremely a little bit. Kobe was extremely arrogant.
He was, but in my opinion, it had a different feel than kind of like the way the LSU women's basketball team was going about it.
It wasn't different. I mean, Kobe, Shaq, his teammates didn't like Kobe for a long time.
That's true.
At least the Angel Reese teammates liked her. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's true. I mean, that's
Kobe,
I'm just going to stop speaking
jerk.
about her. I offer my opinion. I don't even want to get into it no more.
Yeah. All right, let's go. One more for the days. I think we're good. One more.
Dr. Crystal says, Corey, you're 1,000% correct. I also grew up in a rough area, and unless you grew up in that situation, you'll never understand the mentality that comes with that. Now, you do have a choice of how you use your background to fuel you, for better or for worse. And then side note, Christian being amazed at the dog's name had me in tears laughing.
Well, I mean, okay, so it's not just me. I mean, it's an older.
Yeah, why are you talking about why a white lady can't name a dog?
I didn't say that. See, no, listen. See, you always make me sound like I'm saying something. All
Didn't
I was
you
saying,
say 85-year-old white lady or something?
An 85-year-old white lady naming a dog Andre, which is kind of interesting. Number one, because the name Andre for a dog is already interesting. But then, like, I'm just saying, normally old folks name their dogs.
Your dog is named Leo. Kind of the same thing.
Leo, because he's a big lab and he's red, that he looks like a lion. His name is Leo. Yeah. My other dog's name is Duke, right? And then I just got Cooper. Those all are, pretty simple dog names. Andre? I mean, I've never heard of a dog named Andre. Like, no offense. I'm just saying. I mean, that sounds like.
I don't know.
And if we're being honest, Andre, okay, I'm just going to put it here. Have you ever met a white guy named Andre?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Who? Andre who?
Lieutenant Governor Andre Bowers. He's a lieutenant governor.
Oh, okay. One guy, one person. Like, I'm just saying.
And he was a cheerleader at South Carolina when I was playing as a cheerleader.
Cheerleader? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Look, all right. Anyway, and this was interesting. But here's my thing. I just want to say it's Dr. Chris. I get that. I'm not taking anything from anybody that Look, again, because I love for people make it seem like just because you didn't grow up there, like everything was all golden. I did not have a golden childhood either. I have a lot of reasons to be a lot of type of ways, even in my daily life now. But that is not a determinant on how I should treat and go about myself.
But
I've got a lot of reasons to be mad, just like everybody else. But so that's what I'm saying. But my issue is this, though. You already said it. Your environment should not dictate how you act moving forward.
That's what she said. You have a choice. That's the same thing.
So y'all are proving my point, but y'all also
No. The point is about
but nobody's taking anything about
attitude to get out and be successful.
I get that, but I also know that sometimes when people like they label themselves, I come from this, so I have to be this way. I disagree with that because I want to urge people. You
can't disagree with that. How you feel this? Christian, some of these people had to be a certain way to freaking live. Some of them people had to go to the store.
Don't cry before we get off the show. I'm trying to explain what I'm saying.
Afraid of getting shot. No. You are talking about dude. You grew up tough. You wouldn't have the perfect lifestyle.
What does that have to do with where they're at now?
Because you're trying to diminish what it is to be in extremely poverty. To grow up in the world. You got to raise your own. You got to raise your own little brothers and sisters. You don't even know how Bill's going to get paid. You got to sometimes steal to eat. So you don't understand what I'm talking when I say these things. I'm just saying, don't diminish, because I'm sure if you talk to Ruben, if you talk to some of them dudes that came from those areas that play with you, they'll tell you the lowdown. And I'm just trying to say it in a nice way right now. But man, don't ever despise those small beginnings where them people started from. We were 15 seconds. We got to go.
Nobody's doing that.
Ryan Fowler is next. It's been a wonderful show.
If anything, I'm motivating and encouraging people to say that you don't have to be and then follow the pattern that we see from those environments.
That's the same thing what Angel Reese is saying to little girls, little black girls.
So if you just want to encourage people to repeat the cycle and continue to go down the same path that everybody else
She said she want to encourage them that they can win championships. They can be sought after for cover magazines. They can make it to the WNBA.
That's great from a basketball perspective, but you can also encourage them.
But it don't matter. It don't have to be basketball. She's just saying being successful. It ain't just basketball. You need to go sit and read about history. We'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of your day. I know Ryan Fowler got a lot of basketball coverage from Arizona. We'll be back.